Good evening, everyone. Doing a cook along today to celebrate Fair Trade Fortnight. I'm a Fair Trade ambassador, and it is the kickoff of Fair Trade Fortnight, which celebrates farmers and workers all around the world who make the amazing food that we love, from coffee, tea, chocolate, and so on. So we're going to be chatting about that. Rosie Burkett, who is at Rosie Foodie, to join. We're going to cook together. Hi, everybody. She is connecting. I'm going to be baking. There she is.
Hello.
Rosie's cooking.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. Yeah, I'm so relieved that's worked.
It's worked. It's worked.
How are you? Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. And a special hello to the Fair Trade team who are going to be answering any specific questions that anyone's got as Rosie and I cook and bake along, because we want to get through so many questions and shout outs. Rosie, looking glorious.
Is this okay? Can you sort of see, you can see what I'm up to, kind of?
Well, do you know what? I always find there's an element of moving around a little bit so we can show stuff off. You look fantastic to me. Everyone, let us know if you can hear us okay. We want to make sure you get to hear all the information that we're going to share with you.
Do you know what I might do? I might just prop up my tripod.
Yeah, do that.
So you can see what's going on here.
Do that, Rosie, and I'll chat along to everyone instead.
Brilliant.
For a second, while Rosie adjusts herself. I will tell you, Rosie's going to make a savoury, beautiful gratin. I'm not going to say anything more about it because it's for her to reveal to you. Well, thank you for saying you can hear me well. My mother will probably say I'm shouting too much. Rosie's got a lovely big voice as well. Together we are pretty loud. I'm going to, Helena, hi. I'm going to make tahini choc chip cookies because I can't think of a better recipe that showcases fair trade chocolate. Rosie's going to talk about some savoury fair trade ingredients. Did you know there's over 6,000 fair trade products you could buy, which I think is fantastic. We're going to talk you through what fair trade is if you're not sure, why we're passionate about fair trade and why we know lots of you are too, and the rest of you come on board with us. And we're going to have a lovely time, and we're going to catch up because we haven't spoken for a while.
I know.
Great, Rosie.
I think this is okay. I'm going to be doing quite a lot of hunching. Sorry about that, guys. Basically, my internet doesn't stretch into the kitchen here. So this is the makeshift kitchen. And yeah, as Mel says, it's such an honour and yeah, really exciting to be doing this Instagram live cook along for Fair Trade as part of the kickoff of Fair Trade Fortnight. And yeah, this is the Choose the World You Want festival. And we're going to be talking about some of our favourite fair trade products. I've been a fair trade ambassador for the last kind of 3-4 years. My husband used to work there, Jamie used to work there. So annually at this time of year, it was always a really busy time as he was kind of getting ready for Fair Trade Fortnight. He's not working there anymore, he's at Alzheimer's Society now, but I still have such a huge space in my heart for fair trade and the brilliant work they do. And yeah, I just think that it's fantastic if we can, to when we're cooking and thinking about sourcing ingredients, to really look out for the fair trade mark, because it makes such a huge difference to the...
Show it to us, Rosie.
This is the fair trade mark here.
That's the fair trade mark. And you know, you're seeing it on Rosie's coconut milk. You're seeing it on my bananas. You're seeing it on cocoa, tea, coffee. May I really, because I know we've got International Women's Day coming up as well. The Land Girls coffee is fantastic. Check them out. I bought myself a coffee subscription. There are so many things to love about fair trade. And also, we'll just quickly say, Fair Trade Fortnight isn't, in case anyone's new to fair trade, it doesn't mean that Fair Trade Fortnight is only for a fortnight. It's just we celebrate it for 2 weeks every year. We celebrate it every day.
Yeah, exactly. And this is kind of part of a virtual festival. There's loads of events going on all week. There's some fantastic talks. So do check out the Fair Trade Instagram and website. And yeah, we're just really thrilled to be kicking things off, but there's so much happening. So do check out the other stuff that's happening.
I am loving it. I'm loving everybody shouting up because we're going to, as we said, there's 6,000 fair trade ingredients. We're not going to be able to name them all. Gemma Bell, yes. Fair trade olive oil. I'm going to get out my Zaytoon olive oil in a minute and show that off.
Oh, yeah.
Fair trade wine, absolutely. There's fair trade spirits. We're probably going to learn something new ourselves today, Rosie, aren't we?
Absolutely.
We don't know it all.
Oh dear.
Oh, she's down.
Oh,
okay,
I'm
while
down.
she's down, I'll quickly just tell you. what I'm doing here, because we've got so much to chat about and we both want to show you something, I've started a little bit just as I was warming myself up for tonight. I have been in my PJs all day actually, so I'm just warming myself up with, this doesn't look that attractive right now. I've got some tahini and some nut butter, Liberation and Suma, some great fair trade peanut butters as an example.
Beautiful.
It's pretty cold in my kitchen, so it's quite stiff, so I could be here a while, but
I've got the
same thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm stirring together, I'll do it like this. I'm stirring together tahini and nut butter for these cookies, right?
Wonderful.
You know these cookies, Rosie, don't you? I've made them for you back in the day.
Back in the day. And these are from your book, aren't they?
That's so lovely of you, Rosie. They are. My book, Eat Green. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this sorted. There we go.
And if you're not sure, guys, about tahini in a cookie, you can just make it with peanut butter and nut butter. But the most important thing in a chocolate chip cookie is what? The chocolate chips.
Yeah. Tahini is wonderful though. It's got such an incredible flavour from the sesame, hasn't it? And it's being used so much more in baking, as well as, you know, the kind of more obvious applications for it.
Yes. And the peanut butter, you know, your lovely ground nut West African peanut stews, curries, your Thai peanut butter curries.
So sorry, Mel. So these cookies, can they be made kind of, can you make the dough and then freeze the dough and bake them off in that way?
Happily, you can. You really can. So it's a nice one if you're, you know, when we're on the other side, when you want to go and gift some to somebody, when you want to fill up someone's freezer for a birthday present or a new baby. What better gift than a gift of cookies? Having said that, I have not been doing that for my friends because it's been hard to get around town, hasn't it? But
none of us have, and I think everyone's just looking forward to. Oh, someone's asking, what's the name of your book?
Oh, thank you very much. It is called Eat Green.
Eat
and
Green.
Actually,
it's a great book.
Thank you, Rosie. Your books are fantastic, so you're gonna have to get yours out in a minute. There's one particular recipe that I love. It's inspired by a Kenyan curry that I ate while in Kenya, cooked for me by some of the women from the Women in Coffee Association. But you know what? Let me crack on, Rosie. You tell everyone what fair trade is, because we haven't actually said what it is yet.
Yeah, so fair trade is a fantastic certification. They've been working for, I mean, this is the 26th fair trade fortnight. So it's amazing how long it's been going. And they work with farmers all over the world to, my screen's just gone black. Can you still see me?
I can see you. Yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry. I'm such a granny with technology. It's terrible. And fair trade is really all about ensuring that the farmers and the producers who work so incredibly hard to produce some of our favourite foods are being paid a fairer wage, and that they are getting support when it comes to their communities and their livelihoods and the sustainability of their businesses and their communities. So every time you use your purchasing power to buy a fair trade certified product, what you're doing is you're not only supporting the farmers and producers being paid fairly. And what fair trade do that's great is that because the price of stocks tend to fluctuate, things like tea in the markets, they go up and down, is fair trade will set a minimum rate at which the farmers will always get that minimum rate, no matter whether the price and the stock kind of goes down. So the farmers always get a guaranteed minimum, and then they're paid fairly via that, but they also get a fair trade premium. So the extra money that we spend when we invest in buying fair trade goes to a premium, and then the premium is paid into a bank account that the farmers and producers use basically to invest in their communities. So they can, and the great thing is they have autonomy in terms of how they use the premium.
Yes.
So I actually went out and saw some of the amazing work that fair trade do in Malawi with tea farmers and sugar farmers. And you will have seen this firsthand in Kenya as well, Mel. But so I saw things like a maternity hospital that they'd used the money from the premium to create to support women who otherwise were really struggling with the kind of distance to the hospital and stuff like that. They invest in education, healthcare, big sort of investments in their community. So it's just fantastic. And I think when we talk about as kind of cooks and food writers, we talk about good ingredients. It's not just about, you know, it's obviously always about delicious ingredients, but it's also about them being intrinsically good, and making sure that the people that work so hard to produce them are getting, you know, fairly paid as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about fair trade. If you've got any more specific questions about the certification, there is someone here from Fair Trade who can answer those questions too.
You absolutely nailed that, Rosie. You know, I know a lot of people can sometimes feel very confused because, one, we're trying to get in and out of shops as quickly as possible at the moment, of course.
Absolutely.
And then if we're online shopping, you know, we're grabbing slots where we can. We're habitual creatures, aren't we? We tend to put the same brands and same products in our shopping baskets each and every time. But it's about just going, okay, I know what the mark looks like as we've been holding up, and looking out for it. And the great thing is, of course, is supermarkets, your independent shops, all shops, they want to make you happy. They want to keep you purchasing with them. So I always think if you have that moment at the checkout, or have, you know, a lot of these big supermarkets, they say things like product request. If you can, one, look out for fair trade. If you can, two, request it if you can't see it. I really feel that, as you said just now, using your purchasing power, using your voting power to get more of it in the shops. I quickly, so I did the tahini and nut butter. Or you could go just nut butter, or you could go just tahini if there's any nut allergies. I then threw in lots and lots of, this time I've used Green and Black's Fair Trade chocolate. I've got Green and Black's here. I've got Divine. There are, you know what, coffee, tea and chocolate are a great place to start buying your Fair Trade, aren't they? Because between us all, we probably all love coffee, tea, chocolate, or all three. And of course, the very first Fair Trade product I ever bought was a banana. I know there's a few people out there that don't like bananas. I weirdly know quite a few of them. I always feel like bananas are just very, very, you know, everyday and simple, which is why it's so great to buy fair trade bananas.
But that's
sorry, go ahead, Rosie.
I was just going to say that's so interesting because it's all the products you've mentioned: tea, coffee, bananas, chocolate. They're all sort of things that we're so used to and we buy so habitually. But actually, when you really think about it, those products obviously aren't made here. And you know they really, the way they're farmed, it is kind of it's such a labor intensive thing, and it's happening in countries that are still developing. And so really looking out for fair trade to make sure that you've got traceability of those products is a brilliant place to start.
Yeah, it really is. Traceability is a great one. And this is the thing, what you just said, as anyone that loves food, and I'm sure all of you here love food, that's why you're joining us on a Monday night. Thank you.
Thank you.
When you love food, you know, without a doubt, you can expect Rosie and I to forever give you delicious food. That goes without saying. But it is about working your way all the way back to, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, that treat of a coffee, that treat of a chocolate.
Yeah.
And then thinking, who made it? Who made it? Where does it come from?
Yeah.
What's happening with them? So back to the banana. If we have any vegan friends out there, or any plant-based friends, or just if you fancy a change from eggs and have ripe bananas as I do, and you don't want to make banana bread, you can add one large ripe banana in place of the eggs. I'm going to finish off my cookies now so Rosie can take over. I threw in lots of chopped fair trade chocolate.
What kind of percentage of chocolate are you using, Mal?
Do you know what? I don't know if I used to be an 80% girl, but I've been really, maybe it's some pandemic giving me more sugary. I've been going for more 70 to 80. My boyfriend Henry loves a good old fashioned milk chocolate. So there has been, but if I had the choice, I'm going 70, 80. What about you?
Oh, well, actually, I was going to say in my world, the 70, 80 is the dark, good stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm an absolute sucker for a bit of milk chocolate as well. I've got a real sweet tooth. It's really, I think a lot of people are finding that their sweet tooths really come out of the woodwork this kind of third lockdown. But yeah, I like the kind of, I love 70 or 80 for things like chocolate cookies.
Fiona loves milk chocolate too. Fair trade vanilla in there. So what I've done, Rosie, is it's really super thick. This is a great one to make with your kids or anyone that thinks they don't like baking. Rosie, I've got to say, is the most amazing baker. I've had so many of Rosie's cakes. I'm much more savoury than sweet. I'm telling you now, these cookies are the easiest thing to do. I'm now just going to basically form them into cookies, sprinkle them with sesame seeds, and pop them in the oven and hand over to Rosie.
Can we recap about what's in them? So you've got nut butter, tahini.
Yep, a little bit of baking powder, fair trade vanilla, fair trade chocolate. I threw in some white sesame seeds. I've also got some black sesame seeds. And I'm going to throw some of that on top at the end with a little pinch of sea salt, because sea salt brings out the natural sweetness in food. So we could definitely do with some of that.
So
Also,
they're gluten-free, are they, Mel? There's no flour in there?
yes, they're gluten-free. They are based on covered ingredients. They're based on fair trade ingredients. And also, I just wanted to say there's some great big supermarket brands that are spice-led, and you can add fair trade cinnamon and so on. I mean, the great thing is whether it's a small brand or a big brand, whether it's stocked in your independent shop or your supermarket, there's fair trade everywhere. If you haven't seen it yet, hopefully you won't be able to stop seeing it now or asking for it.
Definitely.
Over to you, Rosie Burkett.
Okay, so are you just going to form those into balls and then bake them?
Yeah, and then just admire your work, really.
Okay, well, I'm so sorry about this hunching that I'm doing, but the table and my my work surface seem to be quite far away from my normal stance. But I'll crack on. What I'm doing is a really delicious gratin. It's a potato gratin, but it's with, rather than we might be used to our lovely dauphinoise, it's not got any dairy in it. So I'm using this gorgeous fair trade organic coconut milk, because I absolutely love cooking with coconut milk. So it's got turmeric, it's got spring onion and ginger, and then it's just got your bog standard potatoes. And there's very few ingredients in this, so it's a really easy, good one to do. And I will talk more about the coconut milk in a minute, but I'm just going to start off by chopping some spring onions, because they bring such a lovely flavour to this gratin. And obviously, because this gratin does take about an hour or more to cook, I have actually got one in the oven ready to show you guys, kind of do pizza style. So
you're good.
We'll be revealing that shortly, but I'll show you how simple this is. And it's
Rosie,
a lovely
I
dish.
just want to say hello to people joining us from Ireland, Australia, Newcastle.
Hello everyone, this is great. So nice to see.
Thank you for being part of Fair Trade Fortnight, everyone. We're so happy you're here.
I've just seen someone say I'm left-handed. I'm not actually left-handed. I think it might be the camera swapping, showing a mirrored image.
Oh, question about applesauce. I'm assuming that's to do with the baking. I haven't tried it with applesauce, but I am aware that lots of people use applesauce where a mashed banana can do. So I haven't tried it. Please give it a go and let me know. You might just need to bake a little more. Hello, Imad, our dear friend Imad. Imad Syrian Kitchen.
Hi, Imad.
You can get loads of beautiful. Yeah, Imad's restaurant opening. I know that Imad loves fair trade spices too in his cooking.
Definitely. Right.
Rosie, so you've chopped your spring onions, you've got your potato, and you've got your coconut milk. Brilliant.
Yeah, so this is Mars Happy Life Kitchen, organic, fair trade certified coconut milk, and it's absolutely fantastic. I had to track it down online, and I got it from Tradecraft, which is great.
Great shout out to Tradecraft.
Yeah, and basically fair trade, they're working with big brands that we've talked about, but they also work with really small exciting brands too, and this is one of them. And these guys get all of their coconut milk from cooperative and small scale farmers in Sri Lanka, in the coconut triangle there, and they work with them both obviously on the fair pay and the fair trade premium and all of the kind of infrastructure that allows for, but they also work with them in terms of how the coconuts are farmed, because coconuts are becoming increasingly popular for cooking, especially with the rise of plant-based cuisines, but they are quite problematic, if they're cultivated in kind of monocultures, and also if the farmers producing them aren't getting all the profits, if that's not trickling down. And I know fair trade are quite concerned that despite the rise of popularity of coconuts, the farmers aren't necessarily getting that profit. So I know fair trade are really looking to work more with coconut producers and with brands. So if there's any coconut brands out there who want to reach out to fair trade, I know that this is an area that they really want to grow, because at the moment They're not working that extensively, but this is a fantastic one to look out for. I ordered a whole case of this on Tradecraft. It's about £1.95 a can, and it's the alternative of 3 coconuts in a tin.
Wow.
So you'll see that I was whisking it. That's because my house is freezing cold, and it had solidified somewhat. So I've just whisked it to break up the solid coconut in there, and it's lovely and creamy and thick. And I'm going to put my spring onions in there, into the coconut. Actually, I'm going to put my turmeric in first. I've got
beautiful turmeric.
2 teaspoons of gorgeous golden turmeric going in there. And this, you'll notice when you eat the gratin that the potatoes become completely golden, obviously, because they're stained from the turmeric. So I'm putting in a teaspoon of salt as well. And
Rosie, Victoria's got a little tip. She puts her can of coconut milk on the radiator for 30 minutes before she starts cooking. Excellent tip.
Victoria, that is a great tip, and I would have done the same, but our boiler's just gone on the blink, so no radiators at the moment.
Well, at least that oven's working, hey?
I know. Thank God for that. So I've got some ground cardamom going in there as well, about 4 pods of green cardamom that I've just ground up in a pestle and mortar.
Delicious.
And I've got that in there with the salt and the coconut milk. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
So cheerful and beautiful. And also, I was just thinking as you were chopping your spring onions, I don't know if anyone has been going for a walk this week. Don't you really feel, I mean, I'm talking to our UK friends here because I know everyone's from around the world, but I can see, snowdrops, dust.
Oh.
I can't wait for wild garlic to come. Like, seeing the spring onions is just making me very happy.
It's coming. Honestly, I feel like this last week something's lifted with the weather and the longer evenings. And I read something that by the 25th of May or the 23rd of May, the sun's going to be setting at like 7:20 or something, which just feels so much better than what it is now.
That is going to be a mood booster for all of us.
Totally. So I've got all my ingredients in there, apart from the potatoes. I'm going to attempt to mandolin the potatoes. I'm actually not going to do it directly into the bowl because that's going to get really messy.
Yeah, so and I'll worry. I won't be able to watch you when you're doing the mandolin, if I'm honest. It's going to make me nervous. Oh, wild garlic already in Lake District. Same here in Ireland. Excellent. Ooh, I'm so
fantastic.
Jealous.
I've actually forgotten one thing. I'm going to grate some fresh root ginger. One of my, I love this stuff. This is gorgeous organic root ginger from my local health shop. And I'm just going to grate that in. And I don't bother peeling it.
Me too.
Because it's fine as long as you've washed it to get the mud off. So I'm getting that in there.
If anyone struggles to find fresh ginger, you can keep it in the freezer as you can fresh chilies and grate them in from frozen, which is always really nice. So Rosie's got ginger, she's got cardamom, she's got turmeric, she's mandolining her potatoes, she's got her fair trade coconut milk, and she's making her potato gratin.
Absolutely.
Gratin.
Very good. Very well remembered, all of that, Mel.
Well, I want to make it next. I actually almost made it for tonight, but you know what, Rosie? I'm fridge raiding tonight. I'm doing my leftovers and so on.
You've got to do that first.
Rosie, could you use sweet potatoes?
Yes, you can actually. Someone has tried it with sweet potatoes. Don't cook it for quite as long. But yeah, nice with sweet potatoes. But obviously, a different flavour, much, much sweeter.
Yes. Hello, Chloe in France. Lots of love to you. Oh
my
God, Rosie, we've got friends from all around. Rosie, would this be lovely with when celeriac is coming out of season? But would celeriac and turnips and parsnips all be lovely with this?
Get it all in there. Give it all a go.
Get it all in there.
Get it in there.
Oh, Rosie, someone's making this tonight. Excellent.
Oh, great. It does take about an hour in the oven. So I hope you've got your ovens preheating, 180 fan. And I've got to say hello to my mother-in-law, Glynis, because I think she's here. I know she's... Oh, hi, Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay's in Nashville. She's watching this. And
not only is Lindsay in Nashville, is this the same lady that's saying she's on a treadmill right now in Nashville?
Could well be. I'm struggling to read, but yeah, hi to my mother-in-law as well, Glynis in North Wales. Is your mum on here, Mel?
She better be. Anyone that's cooking any of our recipes, which Rosie and I will share after this, I'm going to upload this afterwards as well so you can re-watch. But Please do tag, oh yes, she's stirring it in now. Please tag Fairtrade UK, please hashtag Fairtrade Fortnight. And then me and Rosie, if you're not following us, we're at Rosie Foodie. She is at Rosie Foodie and I'm at Melissa.Hemsley. And we talk about fair trade all year long, not just this specific fortnight.
Absolutely. So all I've done here, I usually get in here with my hands.
Yeah.
Hi, Glynis.
Hi, Glynis.
In Nanook, that's my mother-in-law. Lovely.
Hello to Glynis and Nanook.
And hello to everyone else as well.
Oh, so nice you're all joining us. Thank you.
Yeah, this is great. Let's just really drum up some support for fair trade, and let's do it this fortnight. But let's also, like we say, try and change some of our shopping habits to really support the certification and support the farmers. Because one of the biggest challenges, aside from COVID, and one of the things that I know Fairtrade are really focused on this fortnight is the climate crisis. And the way that's impacting, is having a very real impact on farmers. And,
Can I read a fact, Rosie? Let me read a fact. We've got a fact here from Fairtrade. Fairtrade say West Africa produces more than half the world's cocoa. Yeah. As temperatures are rising in these regions, it will become too hot to grow cocoa. So this fact is by 2050, 50%, so it will be the land in West Africa, where more than half of our cocoa comes from, that we enjoy in hot chocolates, any chocolatey item, packaged food you can imagine, and of course in chocolate, will be lost. And then to all coffee lovers, by 2050, 50% of the land currently used for coffee production will be lost too. When I was in Kenya in 2018, the Women in Coffee Association women told me, well, first of all, 70% of the coffee picking is done by women, but it's mainly men that own the coffee bushes and receive the money. So that's why the Women in Coffee Association was set up, and it has 1,000 members, which is brilliant. And the women told me too, what is worrying them so much is that the previous harvest, they'd had hailstones that just battered the coffee, they call them the coffee berries, the coffee bushes. And so they lost so much of their coffee bushes, and that was from hailstones. And then of course there's water, the lack of water and the heat, but it's the extreme temperatures and extreme weather that, and that comes back to exactly what you said, it's the climate crisis. And as so much has stopped during COVID, the climate has, we've not stopped heating up. So that's why, especially this Fairtrade Fortnight, as you said, it's Fairtrade Fortnight has been celebrated for 26 years. And the overriding worry at the moment is climate. And that's going to affect us all.
Absolutely. And yeah, you're totally right to point out how it's affecting the farmers, particularly for coffee and chocolate. And I mean, all of these farmers, they are actually having probably much less of an impact on the climate than the rest of us. And so, Fairtrade are really trying to work with them to make sure that they are equipped to deal with the challenges and the changes in climate and the way that's affecting their land and their crops, and their yields as well. So it really is a very pressing and important topic that's having a very real impact on food producers growing the food that we all eat, and paying attention to it and really trying to find ways of working with the farmers is a crucial thing that Fairtrade are doing on many kind of different levels. So you can read more about that obviously on the Fairtrade website, and on joining in with these chats. There's a climate chat on the 24th, I think, is there?
And they're all free to attend. If you go on to @Fairtrade UK or fairtrade.org.uk, you will see we're just one of them, aren't we? We're just a little speck in the Fairtrade Fortnight celebrations, you and me, Rosie.
Definitely.
There's so many great talks. They're all free, and do follow Fairtrade as well, because not only will they let you know when new products arrive that you can then get excited by, they've got so many great assets and virtual flyers that you could maybe share with your mates. I wanted to quickly shout out that, I mean, for most of us, we're drinking coffee, tea, we're eating chocolate, we're cooking with coconut milk, we're using spices, we're eating Fairtrade bananas almost every day. But especially, we've just had Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day. We've got Easter coming up. what a perfect chance to think about fair trade Easter eggs. You know, that's a one upgrade you could make for yourself and for the farmers workers. Rosie, give us a little close up of what's going on over there then.
Yeah, so basically what I've done is I was stirring all of the turmeric-y, cardamom-y, seasoned coconut milk with the potatoes, and really you would just want to get it completely coated. I'd ordinarily use my hands to really get in there, but obviously turmeric and live Instagram and no washing facilities. So I've just put them all in here in a kind of reasonably even layer. What I would really advise doing as well is giving it a real press down with your hands. Obviously, if you're in the kitchen near a sink, squeezing it down with your hands just so that all the coconut milk goodness gets covers the potatoes. And then I'm just going to finish it with actually a bit more salt, because the coconut milk is really quite sweet, and that's lovely, but obviously you want to balance that with some seasoning. And then the gorgeous the rest of the spring onions. And what happens to the spring onions on the top is they kind of frazzle a little bit, and you get that lovely kind of slightly fried onion
Yummy
flavor.
Would that be good with leek, Rosie? A little bit of leek?
So good with leek, yeah, like maybe with the baby leeks particularly, those kind of lovely soft green leeks. And then I'm actually going to season with a little bit of white pepper, which I love. I really love white pepper with ginger and with turmeric as well. But you can obviously customize this to help whatever your palate is, and have a play around.
Can we have a look? Give us a little, lean it into us with the spring onion. Beautiful.
So
amazing.
there it is.
So that goes in the oven.
That goes in the oven. I bake it on a middle shelf at about 180 fan. And what will happen while it bakes, and it needs to bake for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes until it's nice and tender, it will fill your house with the most incredible smells. So it's just so delicious, the smells coming off this this really quite simple thing. And this is just really nice with I think I mentioned some roast salmon, or some chicken. It's really versatile. You can obviously, if you're vegetarian, it's just really nice with a kind of shredded red cabbage salad with lots of nuts and seeds and things.
Yes.
For
that bit of crunch and freshness to go with it. Amazing. Yeah. So Rosie's going to pop that in.
Yeah. Shall I go and just pop it in and get the one that I've made?
Yes, please. Please. We've got about 5 minutes left, everyone. Rosie's going to show us here's one I made earlier of her beautiful turmeric coconut potato gratin. Sorry, is it annoying me with my French accent? I am going to get out the tahini cookies. I've just popped my head down to have a little look at them. They need a little bit longer, and then I will present them to you for your approval. And I actually still have half my batch left. But to be honest, I might just throw into a loaf tin and bake it as like a little mini loaf. Oh, what did someone just say? Someone's just said that they work in a fair trade shop. Fantastic. And one year I asked my school to buy fair trade Easter eggs for the kids as prizes. Kids love them. Oh, brilliant, Vicky. I think that's Vicky. Amazing.
That's really good. Yeah, I think like you're so right to point out Easter. And supporting fair trade around Easter. I've actually just been really addicted to those divine cappuccino bars as well. With the
I don't know those.
Oh, they've got like little nuggets of coffee running through them, and they're so good. I wonder if they'll do an Easter egg of that. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys in terms of what your favourite fair trade products are as well, and what you'd like to see. Perhaps it would be really interesting for fair trade to hear what you'd like to see more of as well, because I know they're always working hard on getting more things certified. So shall I show you the gratin?
Yes, please.
It's been baking and it's glistening, and you can see the gorgeous golden color and the crispy crisps up on the top as well. So you've got that nice crispy shell on the top, and then you dig in and it's kind of tender and creamy underneath. So it's rather nice.
It's rather nice, absolutely. That looks incredible. Good. And you could do a nice big batch when we're allowed to, or when we're ready to share more with friends. I mean, that would be lovely cold, wouldn't it? I would have that cold for sure.
It's really nice cold. You can make it ahead like I have. I made this earlier and then I've just warmed it up in a kind of low oven. So that really, thank you. Someone's saying it looks delicious. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Imad. Gosh, that's a compliment coming from you, chef. So yeah, just warm it up in a low oven. You could also leave it to cool completely, and then wrap it up and freeze it. Hi, Martina. Martina works at Fairtrade. Hi, Zaytoon. I'm only just tuning into the comments because I'm really struggling to read them. I need to get new contact lenses, I think. But yeah, here we go. And it would be really nice also with some green chili, but I haven't done that today.
Oh, amazing. Rosie, I'm going to
cookies?
pull out my cookies. Maybe you could just re-shout out the coconut milk brand you use. Let's so that if anyone's making notes, we can shout out some of the fair trade ingredients.
Absolutely. This is Mars Happy Life Kitchen. And they are a producer of coconut milk based in Sri Lanka. And they work with small scale farmers in organic. It's all organic agriculture. So they're not only hot on the making sure that the farmers are paid well and that they're getting the advantages of the fair trade premium to support their communities' infrastructures, but they're also they're supporting sustainable agriculture. So the coconuts are grown in organic gardens in Sri Lanka, which is really important because it's supporting biodiversity. And making sure that it's having less of an impact on the climate. And we've just been speaking about how important that obviously is, especially at the moment. And these guys are brilliant because obviously there are byproducts. Are you all right there, Mel?
Yeah, all fine.
There are byproducts created by the manufacturing of the coconut milk. And you'd be surprised how many things have coconut oil in them. But what these guys do that's great is they take all the byproducts from the production process, and that gets fed into local industries in the area, so nothing goes to waste. And I know Mel is the queen of no waste, so it's ticking a lot of boxes. It's a lovely brand, a really exciting little brand.
Hold it up, first one last time.
There we go.
Tradecraft,
Tradecraft,
doesn't it? Okay, I'm just about to bring the cookies out. I want to shout out the amazing Zaytoon olive oil. I know Rosie loves Zaytoon too. There's
so
that
good.
mark. So there's Zaytoon.
And they're Palestinian, aren't they, Mel?
Yes, and I have been to some of their amazing Palestinian feasts pre-COVID. That was so fantastic.
Yeah.
Shout out, what else did we use? We used Green and Black's Fair Trade. We also shouted out Divine Fair Trade. Rosie says she loves the Divine Coffee Fair Trade.
Cappuccino bars are delicious.
Especially for International Women's Day. And don't forget how many farmers are women too. So it's International Women's Day every day for these women.
Yeah.
Fair Trade coffee. There are so many, 6,000 brands. I'm getting out the cookies.
Is that your timer?
That's my timer. Is it loud?
Fantastic. Someone just said this would be nice with a plant-based curry. Absolutely. It's kind of inspired. Oh my gosh, look at those.
So that's
Hello.
I forgot to put my extra sesame seeds on top, but you know what? That's okay.
They look amazing.
So nice. And as I said, you can put fair trade bananas in there too, which would again be a great no waste if you've got some ripe bananas. Right, Rosie, we're going to share the recipes in a bit, aren't we? So people can save them. Remind us all of your Instagram handle.
So I'm at Rosie Foodie, and yes, I will definitely share the recipe. It's in my cookbook, but I will also put it up on my stories as well for people. So keep on following along, and if you want any more information on the recipe, just tag me and drop me a line. And
shout out your cookbook, Rosie.
So my cookbook is The Joyful Home Cook. It's called The Joyful Home Cook, and it's all about celebrating seasonal delicious food and fantastic producers, and cooking seasonally and sort of enjoying the craft of cooking, which I think is something that many of us have appreciated more now than ever. So that's my book as well.
Make Carbonell has just followed you, Rosie. Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to say goodbye now. So ooh, that's not me getting emotional.
Choking up.
Follow Rosie, follow Fair Trade. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for supporting us. Shout out to all the great Fair Trade farmers, workers, brands, and the Fair Trade team who are going to have a very busy next couple of weeks. So let's give them loads of love.
Loads of love. I hope that Martine and the Fair Trade team are clutching a big glass of delicious Fair Trade wine as we speak. And just keep on looking out for the events that are going on. There's so many wonderful events, and they're all free. Obviously, if you want to make a donation, Fair Trade would always appreciate it. But just enjoy Fair Trade Fortnight and look out for that certification mark there. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rosie. So lovely spending Monday night with you. Thank you,
Mel,
everybody.
so lovely to see you. Love to Henry and Nelly and all the gang.
And to Jamie. We did it. No tech fails.
No,
Bye,
apart from
everybody.
the tripod falling over, it's fine.
Bye, everybody. Thanks. Celebrate Fair Trade Fortnight. Woo!
Bye, everyone. Thank you.